Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, today's tip is as you are getting ready to retire, and I mean, really, you can use it anytime, but especially when you're retiring, you want to keep your bills to a minimum. And everybody I know who's had a successful and enjoyable retirement has done a couple of things before retiring. One, they have paid off their home. So they do not have a mortgage, so there's no stress there. Two, they have paid off their cars and have money in the bank. And three, they have some sort of a pension or 401k that is going to be able to support them. And those pretty much help too in an inflationary situation, because if you don't have the extra housing costs, and like a lot of cities have a thing for elderly people where they're like locked into their tax rate when they retire, which is nice and all, but I also kind of feel like, because like there's an income requirement or something like that. And I'm like, really, shouldn't anybody who's making under $50,000 a year, any household making under $50,000 a year, be able to qualify for a tax break on their property taxes? Um, but alas, the people who don't have the mortgage qualify, but the people who do don't. But that's a whole other story. Um, and I mean, for me, my taxes are super low, so I'm not worried about it. It's more like when I was at the county and I saw it, I was like, I thought it was kind of sad, because I know people who, both parents work and they struggle to make ends meet, and they barely make by, and you know they're paying their mortgage and they're paying their bills and they're paying for their kids this, that, and the other. Yeah. Okay, I digress. But when you retire, you should be thinking about um, how to minimize bills. And instead, what I'm seeing a lot of people do is they want a fancy retirement. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she lives in one of the Carolines, which I don't know if they're a nationwide thing or just like a Chicagoland thing, but they're like a 55 plus community, and they've got, the golf courses and all the fancy stuff. And uh, she is paying a rather lot of money to live there and looking to work extra hours in retirement. So she's not even really retired, because now she's going from part-time to full-time so she can, pay more to live there or whatever. And, I was like, but is it worth it? And so she's like, I don't want to move. I love it there. You know, she hadn't, it's not like there was an attachment having been there her whole life, obviously, if it's a 55 plus community. And, I was like, well, what makes it so great? She's like, oh, they have 2 golf courses. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you golf. She's like, oh, I don't golf. So why are you paying? I mean, why are you paying for things you don't use? Like, why do you have to live there? And I mean, I live in a gated community, but my community is dirt cheap. I don't like the fact that my HOADs are so high, but they are. And I mean, they're much lower than most people's, honestly. And my water and garbage is included, um and snow removal, not from a driveway, just from our streets, which kind of sucks, because I have to pay HOA fees to cover my snow removal, but then I also have to pay taxes to cover snow removal on our streets. So I'm like, that's not fair, because like other people pay taxes and the snow gets removed from their streets for free. They don't have to, pay another thing. But anyways, I'm off on a tangent. So you're getting ready to retire. you can stay in the home you're in. You can downsize to a smaller home, or you can upgrade your lifestyle. Now, I really don't think that upgrading your lifestyle and living in one of those fancy schmancy retirement communities is a great choice. I have no intention of doing that ever. Um, though ironically enough, I kind of live in a retirement-esque community now. Um, Not everybody in the community is elderly, but I am definitely one of the younger people in the community. I would say probably 50% of our community is retired and seniors. Um, but so in my case, I chose the gated community because it was my pathway to a tiny home, and I wanted to try a tiny home, and it seemed like a great stepping stone. However, and I do have some amenities. We have a pool and a beach and a lake and everything, but I also then sacrificed other things for it. I live in a 400 square foot park model, but I also have like a $510-ish mortgage, so but I see these people who they get into these fancy neighborhoods and they don't even use the amenities, and they pay an exorbitant sum to live there. Like the property they buy is high, and then they have HOA fees that are like $1,000 a stinking month. $1,000 a month. It's $12,000 a year. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like my housing expenses are $1,000 a month. I know people whose their half of the mortgage and everything is more than my entire housing expense because they've chosen to live in that area. Tiny living's not for everybody. Definitely has its challenges. And so I will 100% say that not everybody can do what I'm doing. But not everybody has to, like, you also don't have to be in a, fancy schmancy neighborhood with exorbitant HOA fees, living in a country club or a golf club type community when you don't even golf. So when you prepare for retirement, don't just automatically think 55 plus. Don't think that you should upgrade your lifestyle because now you're retired, especially if you're not going to use the services. I mean, if you golf every day, then maybe it's worth it. But chances are it is unnecessary. Like the gated community thing. Like, what are they? Well, I suppose they're protecting the golf course. Yeah. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Anyways, again, my name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.